Hey guys, I came up second today at the Finnish Nationals. It was very unfortunate loss in the finals, but I played despia because I think it's the best deck in the format. Well, the build, as you're gonna see, was more tailored to beating like weird stuff, not meta necessarily, but our prediction and meta call turned out to be a bit incorrect because I almost exclusively played into meta, so whatever, I guess. Okay, well, let's.
What were your matchups?
Okay, yeah, so my first round, I think I played Invoked with Dogmatic and Branded, and the second round I also played Invoked with Dogmatic and Branded, or maybe no Branded this time. And then the third round, Jesus, I don't really remember. The third round was weird. I think it was just Flander, and then the fourth round I lost into the guy I played in the finals with Despia Mirrors, or into Cold by rather, but whatever. And then in the fifth round I played into, I think it was Sword Soul, or maybe also Flander, I don't remember. And then in the final sixth round, I drew with Flander. So I finished 4-1-1, and then in top cut, top 8 I won against Sword Soul TO, and top 4 I 2-0 the Flander player, and then I lost the finals.
Okay, so show us the spice.
Yeah, it's super spicy. So the most spicy card of all, 3 Oliver. I don't think anyone plays this. Yeah, this card is basically like Ray, so you always play 3 and people will over-explain it in every video, but I won't do it here. Well, it adds a branded speller trap, so it's a really good card. It also floats 3 Tragedy. Initially, I think we played 2, but we settled on 3 because we play Allures, and just playing 2 doesn't feel enough. The Allure just is more often than not dead than the last Despia main deck monsters. 1 Adlib, 1 Dramaturge. I wouldn't cut any of them. Initially, I didn't like Dramaturge when I was trying the deck for the first time, but this card is so good when you know how to play it. It's actually kind of insane. I don't know how I ever wanted to cut it. It's super crazy. And 3 Albas, hard draw, lets you play into Poly. Then I think this is the
Into
most...
Ash, you mean?
Yeah, into Ash, yeah, with Poly. Or sometimes it's just an okay normal summon. Sometimes. Or
It's good going second,
yeah.
base stuff.
And I think this is one of the most unusual things. So people usually talk in deck profiles, they would like to play 3 Albion, and we actually did. This card is really good. It's basically an upstart, and since we're running 45 cards, you don't see it at multiples that often.
Plus we play Allure.
Yeah, sure, it's searchable, but this card is just so good when you just draw it. You can dump either this to make plays with branded red,
Which you should do more often. People always send opening.
Yeah.
But with just hard drawing branded in red, it plays through so much stuff.
Yeah, you can also just dump opening, which gives you protection, but I guess and 1 Merc for the Albaz monsters. This card is good. People, I think people play it at 2 or 3. I don't like it personally more than 1. I like this card most exclusively to just negate Vishuddha. I think this is the most important application of this card, because then your board is actually notable.
And it just makes another ignorant thing versus it's an ignorant free negate that you can search of good hands.
Exactly.
Plus Allure isn't that really good with Allure. So
yeah, and then 3 Edge Chain. This is the best part of the Patchwork engine to draw because it lets you end on an additional body and not an additional Patchwork, which is very often relevant. I wouldn't play it at any less than 3. Snow for Branded Fusion. This card comes up a lot against
Sword Soul.
Yeah, against Sword Soul or non-meta decks. But it also is just generally good. We didn't play Ecclesia. I didn't see much of a point in it. And last 3 monsters, 3 Ash.
Which is also something there we decided to play last minute.
Yeah, we've been on and off of Ash, I guess, but it's just too strong into Branded and also into random stuff, so this card was great for me today. I wouldn't swap it. Yeah, so this is the monster lineup. I guess I'll just show the spells now.
It's 22 if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
this is
Yes.
22 monsters.
And the total is 45, by the way.
Yeah, the total is
Because
45.
people don't say it in deck profiles, and then
No,
you
I've
have to
mentioned-
count it.
I've mentioned it
Yeah.
already. Yeah. Okay, the spell lineup. So self-explanatory. I don't know if you need to talk about it. It's just a shuttle fusion, but more broken. 3 opening also. This just searches this or any other spell, like when you have a Libers, or this can just add like a Dramaturge or just summon it on an opponent's turn. It's really good. Then 3 branded in red. I've seen people run 2, but when you're playing 3 Albion, this card is insane. Also,
Except if you don't draw 2.
yeah, except if you draw like really, really bad. But this card just lets you play through stuff, and also when you're playing 3, you usually just have more than your opponent has in the mirror match because they play 2, so you have like 1 more push than them, which is sometimes relevant.
And it's really nice because we don't play kit, but if you hard open this, you can set up both branded in red with banishment for the mirror match,
Yeah.
and that's probably most likely not gonna be broken
Yeah.
by the mirror.
Lost. I really like this card. I've seen people like recently not wanting to play, but I think it's good. It protects you from Veiler or from like an Imperm, a Ghost Spell.
Which
on
is
the
especially
Valiant.
good with rogue stuff.
Yeah, this is really good into Rogue. Oh, this also searches. This is like a meltdown, yeah, essentially.
And it baits a lot of stuff going second. If you
Yeah.
hard draw it.
Yeah, if you just draw this card and you activate it, your opponent like usually just like either negates it with Baron or just blackouts it. It's like crazy. Well, obviously it's not the only application, but yeah.
Only weakness, it doesn't do anything on its own, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then 3 patchwork. This card I've also been like swapping between 2 and 3, but playing like 45 with a 3 instead of 44 with 2 is essentially the same thing. In terms of consistency, is like a minuscule like difference, but you can just side it out.
yeah, it's the easiest side out
Yeah,
you can have in the deck.
it's pretty good. Also, this card is just crazy. Anti-poly for that. I think is standard. Wouldn't play more, wouldn't play less. I don't think it's needed. I don't like drawing poly. Oh, then the last couple spells, which would be $3. This card has been like on and off in the deck, but decided to play it. I'm glad I played it. This just fixes your hands. It plays really badly into the roll, but well, whatever, right? Better have it, I guess. This great card. Oh, great. I actually hate it and how deck building with it works, and I hate what this card does. But you just gotta play it for the barrier. I've seen a lot of people citing it, but this is a card you're gonna side like every single game you go second.
So you might just as well
Yeah.
main it.
Might as well just main it. It's also like surprisingly good. Well, not surprisingly, but this is good in mirror.
It's great in the mirror.
And so, Coldboy, I hate this card, but it's so broken. You gotta play it.
How many times did the guy you lost twice to open it versus you?
I think it was like 5 or 4. It was crazy. It's like actually the most annoying thing, but whatever. I think I've counted like 11 Coldboys activate against me today. It was super cringe. I hate it. This card just counters like Brandon in red place or banishment.
Yeah, it's just
plays.
busted, doesn't need
Yeah.
explanation.
Negates counters like this, whatever. Last card. I think the card I like the most in the deck, Banishment. This card is super good. I've seen people citing it. Don't cite it. Don't be stupid. This card even going second in game 1 just lets you set up an unbreakable board going second, even if you just finish on a Mirror Jade. It's not notable. It's so good. It's basically a reburn plus super poly, and it doesn't send to graveyard. It banishes. It's insane. Yeah, so it's 22 monsters total, 22 spells total on trap, 45. Last cards. So for the Albas fusions, it's 3 Albion. I like 3. You can probably get away with 2, but I always found myself, well, not always, usually just found myself that I want to summon Albion first turn, and then I want to also dump it first turn. So it leaves me with no Albions. The third one allows me to have a follow-up after my opponent's turn, which is really good. Then I played Tilubullion. You could get away with one. I don't like it because if it gets like Impermed or Veilard, you're out of place. You just gotta go Albion. TJ, don't need more. Probably wouldn't play less, even though the second one
It
comes
does
up
come
only.
up.
Yeah, it comes up only like every 5 games.
For me, it comes up more often than the second Rebellion.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's for sure. But this card is really good. It set up a follow up. It's a banish. Usually like 2 banishes. It's so crazy. Last Albus Fusion searches kit. There's a play where you can go turn 1 into Albion, into Lubullion, and then you just poly the Albion, so you have it engraved, and you can just send the Brigand from the edge 8 for turn 1, so you set up the spell or traps or the banishment or red, plus a Mark Career, and it's almost unbreakable. Then the other fusions, the despia fusions, so it's 2 Musk. I like 2. I was memeing about playing 3rd, but it would never come up probably. If you set up 2 of these in a Jade, you like can call yourself a winner, I guess. Quartly's card is cracked against Sword Soul, and I haven't summoned it against anything else. But against Sword Soul, it's very good.
If you main deck Super Poly.
Yeah.
Which we don't.
Yeah. I mean, it's either way just good against Sword Soul. It just baits Baron and gives it like a float, so it's okay. 2 Chimera wouldn't play less, wouldn't play more. Card is really good. Nothing much to say. Draws. Also, funny thing, Sword Soul like almost cannot doubt it. If you summon it with Poly, they just have to use Chaining, which you can Jade Banish. It's very funny. And then the one-offs, I guess, like one Stapeli I've seen people play too. Would have never come up on Starving. This won me my top 4 match, I think, or top 4 game 1. I just summon it and attack for the remaining damage after.
And this is our Ignister out.
Yeah, this is the out for Ignister. I've seen people play Titanic Lad, but this only outs the 4K. This outs anything, also including the super famous Finnish matchup. I don't know if it's super famous, but I've seen like in regionals a person played Black Wings, and today I've also seen a person play Black Wings, so I guess that outs the towers, right?
It was probably the same person.
Yeah, and then lastly side, mandatory.
Yeah, these go in every game.
Yeah, mandatory, unfortunately.
One barrier goes in going second.
Mandatory. Like, you have to always side these 5.
And that's why we also play 45 cards, because these are mandatory side-ins.
Yeah,
if you don't want to lose to anti-spell and the D barrier.
Yeah, you have to just side these. And this is what I like sort of dislike about this format. You just have 5 mandatory side-ins if you play despia, because you just lose to the anti-spell or the D barrier, or like even like some of the traps. Thank God would just exist. But yeah, this also like surprisingly isn't bad into mirror, because you can pop either like a super poly in red or like banishment in red, but I don't think you have enough side spots to side it in. Well, then the rest of the bar like card is broken, so why not play it right at 3? Just use it. Then very I think lately popular choice, 3 Nips. This is very good into random stuff, also good into the Sword Soul matchup if they don't play around it, and none of my opponents played around it, so it was really good. I like it. Liked it more than the following card, which is...
It was also really good for me versus Ignister.
Yeah, the following card didn't come up almost at all.
It was super shit today, for me also.
Yeah, it was like... I don't know what it did, honestly. I think I've once negated an Ampen and a barrier with it, and the other one I tried to send 3 and they get rid of their monsters, and apparently this doesn't resolve, so rather resolves without infect, so yeah. I think it lost me the game instead of winning it. But yeah, this card is... Well, it's good, but not into a lot
We played it because it covers a lot of annoying shit.
Yeah,
that you wouldn't cite specific cards for.
Yeah, this was like meant to deal with
rogue shit.
Yeah, either like Baguska or just similar stuff that is just very annoying, but it didn't come up. Last, the cards 2 super poly. I would probably cite a 3rd one. So why we've decided to play 2? I think it was late at night that we've decided that there probably isn't going to be a lot of despia today, which was wrong. But I haven't played a lot of despia. I actually played only the one guy, so it's fine. So yeah, this is the narrowest stuff because this technically could go into Sword Soul, but practically if they flip anti-spell, you can't use anything.
It plays into their non-engine.
Yeah, it plays into their anti-spell. Well, which I don't like. And it's really only like very good in the mirror, and very good is also like an exaggerant because if they just open banishment, they resummon their board with yours, which gives them a recovery play, which in turn just it just spirals. So you can't win by itself alone. It's really good. Obviously, I would have played third if I was building this today. I knew
probably for the droplet, yeah.
Yeah, for the droplets, and I don't know what I would change for these two. Maybe Cyclones, I don't know, or something for Flander. I would actually play the zombie board and the Banshee. I decided to cut it because Flander isn't the real deck, which I'm glad I've won with the engine, but it would have come up today. But yeah, this is the deck. This is the list.
Any shoutouts for the?
Yeah, closing words to everyone who helped me with the list over the day. Obviously to my team and to you guys from various discords. Shoutouts to Max, I guess. Shoutouts to Bellbind, to Josh, to just a lot of people who are cheering me on today. Sorry if I can't shout out everyone. I can't think straight. How many people shouted me out? I mean, helped me out. So, but yeah, thank you guys.
Okay, so congratulations on the second place and good luck on Euros.
Thank you.